my name is Mon, and this is a record of my first week of my attempt to teach myself classical piano as an adult. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is the resources that I have decided to use. The first is the Adult All-in-One course published by Alfreds, and that's by Palmer, Manus and Lethko. I did have a look at some videos on YouTube, and a lot of those videos were recommending this book, so that's the one I'm going to try. In this first week, I just looked at the pages associated with their right hand C position. To be honest, I found this stuff pretty simple. The sorts of challenges that I found were things like keeping the volume constant as I played, learning how and when to take one finger off and the other one down so that there is no gap between the notes when you play, but also no overlap so it doesn't sound like a chord. And I found that my fourth and fifth fingers are definitely the weakest fingers, as expected, I think. I also purchased A Dozen a Day by Edna Mae Burnham, and I got the anthology version, I suppose because I'm optimistic. So that includes the mini book, the preparatory book, book 1 and book 2. This week I just focused on the first 12 exercises, so group 1 from the mini book. This was pretty fun. I really like the drawings that come along with the book. If you've got it, you'll know what I talk about. There's these little stick figures that make the shapes and are doing what the music is supposed to sound like, I suppose. I was able to use my left hand a bit in these exercises, and there were some exercises where I played 2 notes at the same time. After I looked through the Alfreds adult course though, I did also decide to buy an additional book on scales. So I settled on the complete book of scales, chords, arpeggios and cadences, which is also published by Alfreds. Just again on the advice from someone on the internet, I think it was a Reddit thread. And this one is by Palmer, Manus and Lethko as well. This week, I really just focused on the first page, which was all about tetrachords. And tetrachords, I learned, is a series of 4 notes that has a pattern of whole step, and half step. The page went through tetrachords when the first notes were C, D, E, G, A, and B. So this is me going through them, and I just went up the keyboard for this one. I did make some mistakes. If I wanted to give a review of how I went in the first week, I think pretty good. The first time I touched the keyboard, I will say I have weighted keys. I did think, gosh, these keys are quite heavy. That was my first impression. But after a week of playing, even just really casually, I'm finding it much easier to press down on the keys so it doesn't feel as heavy. As I said before, keeping up the tone and the volume constant and figuring out when to take off your finger and put the other one down so that there's no gap between the notes, but they don't overlap like a chord. I'm starting to get a better feel for how to do these things, but every now and then I will just get the pressure wrong and one of the notes will come out really soft or just really way too loud for the context it's in. I did end up playing one piece from the Alfreds All-in-One Adults course. It's the motive from Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. It's called Ode to Joy. So this is it. And that was week 1. Next week, I hope to maybe do some proper scales, which will be fun, and more exercises. So please follow along with me if you're interested at all. Thank you so much for watching.